I found my late husband's secret journal. The last entry was about the woman he really loved, Perrin, and it wasn't me for 38 years. I believed I had a perfect marriage. David and I met in college, raised 3 children, and built a life filled with inside jokes and comfortable silences. When cancer took him last spring, I thought I knew everything about the man I'd shared my life with. I was finally cleaning out his office parent, a task I'd avoided for months. Behind his collection of first edition novels was a leather-bound journal I'd never seen before, the kind with a small brass lock like something from another era. The key was taped to the back. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was David's familiar handwriting entries dating back 20 years. I should have closed it immediately. Some privacy should extend beyond death. But I saw my name on the first page I opened, and I couldn't stop reading. I bought her the pearl earrings she's been admiring. She loved them, of course. Her smile still lights up the room after all these years. I wonder if Catherine would have aged as beautifully. Catherine, a name he'd never mentioned. I read through the night, piecing together a story I never knew existed. Catherine was his college girlfriend before me. They'd planned to marry, but she died in a car accident during their senior year. 3 months later, he met me. The entries were sporadic: parent, sometimes years apart, Perrin, but always on the same date. The 17th of April, the anniversary of her death. I dreamed about her last night, Perrin. She was laughing at something I said. Head thrown back the way she used to. Rebecca asked why I was crying in my sleep. I told her it was just a nightmare. My stomach nodded as I read entry after entry. Comparisons between us, moments when he looked at our daughter and seen Catherine's eyes. Angstrain about what their life might have been. The final entry was dated just 2 weeks before he died, the 17th of April. For the first time, I couldn't clearly remember Catherine's face today. I had to look at the old photograph I keep in my wallet. After all these years, she's finally fading. What's strange is that I feel relief, not sadness. I've spent decades wondering about a ghost, measuring my life against an imaginary one that never had the chance to disappoint me. Catherine would have hated that. She was too real, too human for such pedestals. The truth I finally accepted is that Rebecca saved me not just from grief, but from the ordinary disappointments that any real marriage brings. We had years when we barely touched, but we chose each other again and again. Catherine was my first love, but Rebecca is the love of my life. Perta, the one I built a life with, the one who saw me at my worst and stayed. I wish I had told her that more often. I hope she knows. I closed the journal as dawn broke through the window. My face was wet with tears, Perta, not of betrayal, but of a complicated gratitude. For decades I'd been competing with a ghost I never knew existed, but in the end I had won. Not because Catherine was gone, but because David had finally understood what real love is. I placed the journal in a memory box with our wedding album and the love letters he'd written me over the years. Then I called our children and invited them for dinner. I wanted to tell them about Catherine Parrott, not as a secret or a betrayal, but as part of their father's journey to becoming the man we all loved. Sometimes the deepest truths about love aren't the ones we expect to find. Sometimes they're written in the spaces between grief and gratitude, in journals we were never meant to read.